present in 17, Softprom is present in 17 countries. I would like to thank you, all of you, for coming and for joining us in this webinar. And today we are going to talk about ERMETIX Chimpa, which is a very well-known solution with lots of references. Paolo is going to tell us more about this later on, and it's going to show us also a demo. Softprom, I was telling you, is in 17 countries, and it is very big. It has a lot of contracts with very big customers. Here in Greece, we are young, we are new. We just started the office about 1 year ago with Sergey, and we are continuing, let's say, to grow. Our solutions are many. We will have a lot of webinars, starting with Chimpa, ERMETIX, and we can help you in all of your cybersecurity needs. I will invite you to go into www.softprom.com, where you can see all the different solutions that we have. And we are available anytime you want in order to make a presentation on any cybersecurity issues you have. Okay.
Great.
Good. So, also, as I said, Softprom is a distributor. We are working together with various system integrators here in Greece. So if you would like to work with a specific system integrator on a specific project, for example, ERMETIX, you can work with a specific integrator. Or if you would like value-added reselling from us, we also have engineers who are also here in the call with us and can help you in order to build a solution and make the architecture together with the vendor, for example, ERMETIX. Okay. So this was my introduction, and now I think we can give it to Martina Nakova, who can tell us more.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you on my side as well for the participation. I'm going to share a few slides with you just to introduce the solution, what we can help with, and then together with my colleague Paolo, we're going to show you a live product directly from the dashboard of the product, how it works exactly, and then you have the possibility to ask us any questions related to the product. So let me share my screen. I think, however, that I'm missing the button at the moment to share my screen. Okay, here it is. Can you all confirm that you can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So a little bit about the company. The company is called Xnoova. It's an Italian company, and a big market share of our customers is actually in the domestic market in Italy, and then in the last year we have expanded also in other markets, both in Europe and in the Americas. The two solutions that we're going to be talking today are Chimpa and ERMETIX by Chimpa. Chimpa is the basis. This is how the company started a few years ago as a simple MDM solution, providing the mobile device management to schools and universities. And what we know as of today is called ERMETIX, always powered by Chimpa, which is a very enterprise type of solution for mobile devices. We are part of a holding, an Italian holding called LGC Group, and there are other 6 companies in that holding. I would say that we're the youngest as a company in that holding and the only software company. But so before I introduce the product itself, I'm going to talk about the market as of today and what we see on it when it comes to mobile device management and security. So as of today, on the market, there are 2 types of products, separate products by separate vendors that allow customers to protect their mobile devices. The first type of the products is the so-called Unified Endpoint Management, or you probably know that as MDM. That would be the mobile device management. It's the same thing. And that is as we call it, the passive protection of the mobile devices. These types of products allow you to enable certain restrictions on the phone, aiming at closing a big number of doors through which you can get a virus. So you can do, I don't know, a blacklisting of certain URLs. You can disable the possibility to download certain apps. You can disable the camera of the phone, and so on and so forth. So you can add different types of restrictions. And these are the products called MDM. And then there is a second type, another category, I would put it this way, of products that exist on the market that are the mobile threat defense, or the MTD. This is the active protection of the mobile devices. What does that mean? It means that even if you have closed a very big number of doors, you have applied many restrictions to the phone, still this doesn't mean that you cannot get a virus or a malware or any kind of Trojan on your phone. So you need something that would be constantly scanning your phone for malicious activities. And this is what the second category of devices, of products would offer to you. But what is the problem? The problem is that you need both of these. And the problem is that these are offered by separate vendors and by separate products. You can get this part, and then you can get the second one. What we have done is a very advanced solution that offers all-in-one product. So with ERMETIX by Chimpa, you pretty much get the passive protection, the MDM, and then you get the active protection, or the antivirus, anti-hash, the firewall, the threat intelligence, so that you can scan and recognize even unknown threats that could be running on your phone. So instead of getting two separate solutions, you get all in one, and you get all the functionalities in a single solution, in a single license. And what are the benefits that you get by having a single solution? Obviously, the first one is the price. Because yes, you can get two separate solutions from two separate vendors, but the overall price would be much higher. And then the second benefit is related to the functionalities. Because when you get products that are produced by different vendors, they don't talk to each other. They are not related to each other and not integrated. And yes, you can do some sort of customization to integrate them, but they would still remain as two applications laying down on the phone. With ERMETIX, what you get is a single solution that is based on the MDM, and because of that, you have 3 lines of defense. This is not a simple application that you would be just installing on the phone or whatever the device is. You would get a solution that talks directly to the operating system, and that has complete access to the mobile device to be able to fully monitor, manage, and protect it. How it looks as a whole, this is a SaaS solution. It's on a subscription-based solution that allows you to monitor, manage, and fully secure all kinds of mobile devices. And what I mean by all kinds of devices is that the first moment when you hear a mobile device, the first thing you think about is probably your phone, your tablet, your laptop, but that's not all. Because we can actually monitor a very, very vast gamma of devices. The only thing that matters, whether you can monitor and protect it with Chimpa and with ERMETIX, is the operating system. If we're talking about a device that runs on Android, on iOS, on macOS, or on Windows 10 and 11, then we can manage it and we can put it on a secure mode for you. And what does that mean when it comes to devices? Yes, most of the cases that we have are of companies that are managing and securing the devices, you know, the mobile phones and the tablets of their employees. But not only that, ERMETIX has been installed also on voting machines because they run on Android. It has been installed on interactive flat panels because they run on Android as well, on racked devices as well. All kinds of devices that have any of these operating systems installed, then for sure you can use ERMETIX to manage these. We're very proud to have all the certifications possible, and there are 4 as of today, very difficult to obtain. And having these certifications means that we're fully regulated and fully GDPR compliant. But that is important not just for us, but also for many of your customers that need to be GDPR compliant too, because many of the customers allow their employees to use their mobile devices for work-related purposes, so they can work, they have Outlook, they have Teams, and all kinds of other applications on the phones. But unfortunately, these applications are not protected. And in a situation where any of these devices gets hacked, all of the company data would be leaked, which is very, very dangerous especially for the enterprise customers that on their own side work with customers like banking institutions, insurance, hospitals, and so on. So that was on my side when it comes to the introduction of the company and the product. And then my colleague, Paolo, will share a little bit about how the product works, how the dashboard works, so that you actually see a functioning product. And then, of course, if you like to have a dedicated demo done, or if you'd like to test the product together with Softprom, just let us know or let Softprom know.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for being here. Let me share my screen first. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Hope you see the screen. Okay. This is okay. I try to be short because and I try to give a bit the sense when we talk about easy to manage our product. I think it's quite important that you see the way you can navigate through all the features. I'm not going into too much in deep because it's going to take quite a long time. And just for your information, any of our partner is going to have a full training on the console, because we have more than 200 restrictions available and applicable, and there are so many features available. Okay. So just go through this. Okay, this is how it looks when you open our console, and it's a multi-language console. So we have 4 languages available. So this is just maybe you don't see too much information here because this is my lab. I don't have many devices managed, and mainly they are Android devices, and just one iOS device and one Windows. So, but as you can see, here there is a resume of all the information that we are managing: number of licenses, user devices, profiles. Here is just showing the OS fragmentation and just a short report. But let's go first in the main part of it. First of all, I'm going to show you how you can manage single devices. So ideally, this is I can say this is how you manage one by one devices. Okay, not in an automated mode. Basically, is the one-time action available. So as you can see here, you can see all devices listed. Here you see if the devices are supervised. Supervised meaning that they are fully owned by the company and managed by the company. If we manage also BYOD devices, And when in that case, you'll see quite different status available on BYOD devices. And just for your information, the difference between the fully managed devices and the BYOD is that on once in the, how can I say, if on the fully managed devices, Chimpa ERMETIX is managing completely the device. On the BYOD, Chimpa, the agent, creates a sandbox where reside all the information that belongs to the company, and our Chimpa is effective only on that area. Anything that is happening outside that area is personal. That's why on the device you can see that there is a working space and a personal space. And Chimpa is only protecting the working space. None of the information that are inside that sandbox can go outside, and they are leaving all encrypted. But you can navigate through easy through the device here. As you can see, it's very easy moving from one to the other, and the user experience is very, can I say, is this exactly the same? So here you see a lot of information, and typically these are all the information that we are collecting from the devices, because when it comes to security and when it comes to our threat intelligence that is analyzing devices and looking if something malicious could happen, we need to monitor a lot of information that are available from the devices. And basically this is all you can see within the device itself. Then we manage a user, you can manage multiple user. Here, the list of apps available at the moment on this device, being a Windows or being also this is an IFP typically. This is an interactive panel, and then we manage profiles, certificates. This is the list of restrictions applied to this device, and you can update if there are any updates available and the activity occurring within the device. But you can apply single action. So here you have a list of action that you can apply. And it depends on the kind of user you are, the level you are. Because if you are an administrator, okay, you can do everything. You can even restart the device or wipe the device. But for sure, this is not available for all the kind of administrators, let's say, of the device. And quite interesting is the view screen. View screen is an interesting feature available that gives the possibility to give assistance to the devices. Maybe you have a salesman that is far away from the office and they have trouble, so you can, through the view screen, help them solving issues. Only for Samsung and Lenovo, the view screen is also possible a remote touching remotely the screen. So only for Samsung and Lenovo. So you can even directly from the console, you touch the icons and move within the device. So this is just to give you an example for the one time. Okay, for sure. You can check them all and do anything you want on them all. And once again, maybe only the CEO of the company can switch off all devices at once. So you can see not all these available features you can have for everyone. When you see the gray screen, the gray star means that it's effective on all the devices. Otherwise, this is specific action available just for Windows. This is just for Android and so on. Okay, this is basically the one-time action, but there is another, there is a powerful tool called Smart Workflow that is This is the tool that you need to use, because when you have a fleet of devices and maybe you have 100, 200, 1,000 devices, can you do one by one or all of them at once? So you can create rules. So you can create special rules. You can select by device, time range. You can decide when this action should start. You can say, okay, I want that all the Android device who has a minimum battery charge of 20% at 2 at night, we want to send an update. So this is the perfect tool that you can this is the perfect tool where you can send all these kind of action in an automated mode. So and this you can do it, for instance, through groups, because you can create groups and through the groups you can create rules. So any group, I want to say, I want the, I don't know, administration, warehouse, I want that they have specific rules, so I can simply create the payloads going through the I don't know, restrictions. These are the kind of restriction, as you can see again. This is the star means to everyone. This is specific for each OS system. So, and I can go through all the restriction. I can allow user camera or not, screenshot, and so on and so on. So many restrictions available. You can create your payload and you can push the payload through an automated mode or one by one. It's up to you. There are many available feature also on security. So you see, you can, first of all, you can enable or disable the anti-malware scan, but you can manage also, as you can see, enable DNS filtering. We have several kind of rules that we can apply. And that's why something that is quite interesting, for instance, is the geofence. Geofence is an interesting feature that is giving you the possibility to create rules based on the location of the device. Doesn't mean we are tracking. We are GDPR compliant, but simply, just an example. Once again, you have your warehouse, you have your tablet in the warehouse, you don't want the tablet going out from the warehouse. So you can locate through the payload your tablet, so that once somebody is taking the tablet outside, automatically the tablet will be treated in the way you want. Can be either switched off, blocked, wiped, I don't know, send a message. You can create a special passcode that you need to restart the device, whatever. It's up to you. You can even decide that you want, if you want different policy once the device is inside or outside. Through the geofence, you can push different policy rules. Just I don't know. You don't want your employee navigate when they are in the office, so you can simply block the navigation, and then when they go out, automatically it's push a different policy and they can do whatever they want. So this is the geofence. It's quite interesting for these kind of things, and as you can imagine, if more you go through, more you see that there are a lot of applicable restriction. And just to give a short view on this, when it comes to Android, Martina show you that we are NOx validated EMM solution. So as you can see, we have a special part of our menu is dedicated to all the specific Samsung NOx functionalities. But again, several restrictions applicable, and something that's at the end of the day, that's why it's always a good suggestion to test Chimpa and try how many possibilities you have. Then something interesting, and by the way, I'm going very fast, but in the presentation we can give you more detailed information. We embedded all the stores within our console. So if you want to install a new app, just simply go through this, and I don't know, you want to you want Teams? Oh, yeah. So if you want Teams, just simply go there, click on this, and you can select and you can push Team to any kind of devices you want. Just simply click on this and you push Team to this device. But you can simply download Team and push in an automated mode through the smart workflow. So this is just simply in few words what is about the management. As you can see, also we have monitoring, where you have access to several kind of logs, information, because once again we are monitoring devices and we are using all these data for our threat intelligence. But let's go to the security. I think this is quite what I want to say, the most important part of our solution, because what you have seen now, more or less, you can see on many other MDMs. Okay, maybe we have some more feature than other. Maybe we are easy to manage, but at the end of the day, this is something that you can find off the market. This is something specific to our solution. So when you go to security, just the first in the first place, you see the event list. This is a real patch management. So what is giving you Chimpa is the possibility that you have a look within the devices. So you can see all critical information that are coming from the devices. Just look at this. This is there is an integrity program. This is a critical issue, and is a critical alert. As you can see repair here. That means that somewhere on the web there is a repair available, and simply you go there, you click on fix, and it's done. On this one, you have simply details available. There is a CV, they are not available, a fix. So you receive from Chimpa a suggestion. Let's go visit this URL and read about it. And maybe you can find something that can be useful for you. And then you can manually manage and set as fixed. So this is, and again, you can navigate through this, and you can choose by whatever you like, and that will be a very good way to keep clean and in good condition all your devices. The second part, very important, is the part reporting or the scanning from the antivirus. So here you see the scanning occurred automatically, and which are the results. And the last one is simply a scan on demand. Sometimes you receive an advice, an alert of a file that can be potentially dangerous. You can simply click and put here. This is typically exist, and it's good to have when you have let's say, let me call them the non-standard Android, because sometimes you have some devices, some I would say not very known brand, that they have some problems. This is typically happening with the interactive flat panel, where they simply they are all made in China. They have an Android that is not an official Android, not Google supported, and they create their own firmware. And sometimes the firmware itself is perceived as a potential threat. So this is just to give you broadly this information, but as you can see, you can create firewall rules. You can, IFPs, so you can blacklist, whitelist website, and so on and so on. Last, I want just to show you, and to be very short, the enrollment way, because we can enroll the three kind of the devices under these the three kind of OS, and as you can see, we have many kind of enrollments. The beautiful one is the zero touch. They are very easy way of enrollments. Just reboot the device, then touch 10 times on the screen, the camera starts, you just shoot the QR code, and it's done. So this is exactly this is the easiest way available to enroll devices. Okay, so I'll stop here because otherwise should go further into too many details that probably this is not the right moment to go through. Just for your information, as you can see, we have online tutorial and guides. So anytime our partners can have these kind of information available if there are doubts or any other. So I will stop here for the moment. If you want to have more in-depth information, we can provide a more deepened overview to anyone. Yep, I'll leave it to you, Angeliki.
Just a question to everybody.
Yep.
How many of you have used MDM solutions so far? Or are using right now some MDM solutions?
What do you mean? How many?
I mean, open question to anybody. If anybody is using some sort of mobile device management solution, you know, everybody on the call.
I haven't. We haven't used yet in our company an MDM solution.
Okay. Do you know the difference between MDM and EMM? Perhaps this is something that Paolo can elaborate a little bit more, because in the case of this solution of ERMETIX, this is an all-in-one solution. So you don't just get MDM solution for your mobiles, but you also get an EMM solution and a SIEM solution. Yeah, Paolo, so could you please say a little bit more?
Yeah, okay. So what the okay, let's say MDM is the old way of call this kind of software, the software that are managing mobile devices. EUM, sorry, is the modern way of calling it, because it's more related to endpoints in broadly, meaning any kind of device that is running on Windows, iOS, macOS, or Android. So we are an EUM solution simply because we have experience running, just to give an example, there is a transport company in Venice. They are running a Chimpa on smartphone, tablets, kiosk, vending machines. So different kind of possible devices, as long as they are one of the three OS systems. For Windows, we also we can manage through Windows 10 and 11 for a simple reason. We leverage on Google services, Apple DIP, and Windows Autopilot. So the way Chimpa is interacted with the devices is through these services. And this is why we always like to say we are a modern solution, because this way of interacting with the devices is providing a huge number of functionalities and better way to manage them. But for that reason, with Windows, we can only manage Windows 10 and 11, because as you know, these two versions are more apps oriented. So they are coming into, let's say, the new world of management, like app way, let's say. So now we are, we can say that we move a bit from the pure mobile device world into the laptop and workstation, as long as they are Windows 10 and 11. So this is the huge difference with the traditional MDM. Something important, we are an EMM solution, so that meaning that if you go on Android, on the Android official Android website, and you see the list of EMM solution, you will find Chimpa. Sometime on the market there are solutions that they are good solutions, but they are not official EMM solution.
Okay, so in that sense, for example, if somebody has another EMM solution like asset in the environment, okay, then this solution, Chimpa, will work together with ESET. It does not, let's say, affect, one solution does not affect each other when they work together. Yeah?
Okay, we have to be clear. ESET is not an EMM, a UEM solution. ESET is a pure MTD solution. So it's while Chimpa is both, it's UEM and MTD. So you can have both. You simply have double the security part of the software, let's say, because we are exactly the same way of working, with one difference that is very important, and how can I say, it comes from the base of the solution. The solution, when you are an MDM, and you leverage on this on these services, like, let's say, Google services, you are perceived by, you are, first of all, you are device owner, and you are perceived by the device as a service. So you don't need to ask permission to the OS to perform some feature. If you are an MTD, meaning you are not leveraging on these kind of services, you need to interact in some way with the OS system. And this is, from a management point of view, a big difference, because that meaning that if you have, let's say, ESET on the device and Chimpa on the device, unless they look the same, they are both antivirus, they are both protection, but MTD as it need to ask permission to the OS system to perform something, to check something, while Chimpa simply don't need that. Okay, so for the technical person, and this is something that will be great if somebody want to have this interaction with our CTO, can give you far more information about these technical, and is so important.
Great.
Great. And what about if somebody has already a SIEM solution into their environment?
Oh, yeah, okay.
How does Chimpa work together with this?
Okay, you all know that SIEM solution on the market, they are blind on mobile devices. They are not watching at the mobile devices. So we provide connectors. So you can connect Chimpa and send all the information that actually we are taking from devices, we can send to the SIEM, and the SIEM can take care of this information. Okay, as you can imagine, if you have to interact with the device, then you need to go back to Chimpa once again if you have to do something, because the SIEM itself, as I said, is blind on mobile devices. But at least you can send all this information to the SIEM. Otherwise, no information available.
So or you can use the SIEM directly from Chimpa to see all your mobile devices and what they're doing, right?
Yeah, you can provide all these data collected from the devices to the SIEM, and they can manage this information the same way the SIEM is managing the information from the workstation and server. Okay.
This is an interesting topic, actually, Angeliki, when it comes to the SIEMs, and I think that if any of the participants would like to go deeper into that discussion, we can also organize, as Paolo suggested, a call with our CTO, Roberto, because we have a very interesting and strong use case in Italy where one of the biggest telecoms in Italy is providing such service to its customers together with Splunk, because Splunk is the most well-known SIEM. And they have integrated Splunk with our product, with Chimpa. So we
Telecom
can
Italia.
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
So yes, if any of the participants has such a need and would like to know more about it, how it works, or see how it's being done, we can definitely schedule a call with our CTO to give you guys more technical details on how it's happening exactly. And if necessary, if you're using a different type of SIEM, we can test it with the connectors and see what kind of actions it's going to perform.
Okay. Is anybody interested in, let's say, discussing this a little bit in a more technical level? For example, Zepos, what do you think?
Yes, I would care to have a longer discussion on some of the topics regarding the product as far as technical issues are concerned. And certainly we would like, if we would employ such a product, to have it fully connected with our SIEM solution in order to monitor all the stuff that Paolo said, meaning we need these events coming through, ingested with the rest of the feeds in order for the SOC that we use to perform its duties, as with all the other endpoints.
Okay, so we can arrange this with Martina and Paolo at some point to do this special technical sort of like discussion with you. Okay.
Yep.
And ask what is
yeah.
the current SIEM that you are using at the moment?
Yes, we are currently using QRadar.
Okay, that's great.
Does anybody have any questions for Paolo? Paolo, would you like to share with the rest of the participants why is it important to have an MDM solution? Why are we talking about this? About
yeah, because
MDM
people people under-evaluate what's coming out from the mobile world. You know, nowadays you see, my previous job, I was selling a product, protection for server and workstation. And you realize that how deep is the knowledge in the world of security when you talk about all but mobile. You have you know, any kind of a software solution, DLP and firewall and SIEM and SOAR and WEBA and so and more. But no one think about the mobile. And it's nice because you have such a huge infrastructure of solution, and your people are coming into your company and they simply connect to the Wi-Fi of the company with their own device. And who knows what's happened a few minutes before? Maybe they have downloaded an app that is malicious and so. And this is typical, the kind of under-evaluation in the mobile world that people don't really think about that. So the fact that but the mobile and okay, in principle, mobiles nowadays, the word mobile is everything, because it can be even a touch screen, even a whiteboard, and you know, look in the school. They have these IFPs, and the student all the tablets. Then you have your teacher that goes with the USB and put the USB in the IFP that is connected to the Wi-Fi, connected to the tablet, connected to the assistant, to the school. So potentially dangerous, and it's totally under-evaluated. That's why it's important nowadays that we protect mobiles, because they are everywhere. You go into the airport and you connect to the airport Wi-Fi. Who knows? Free. Wi-Fi is everywhere free, but who knows what happens? And maybe you have installed the app of your company, and you are interacting with your company. You're sending mails, and so this is how can I say? This is something that is coming from what's happened in the last 10 years. That before the IT infrastructure was closed around the company, now is somewhere. It's blurring around the world. So you have a cloud-based server, you have everywhere. There's no any more border of your infrastructure. So you need to focus back on the device itself. And this job has been done very well in the last year with workstation and server, not the same with the mobile. And people are working in the mobile like, you know, tapping like there's no tomorrow. They simply tap and don't realize that sometimes they click on links. And these are the same kind of links that when they are working at workstation, the company said, hey, watch out when you receive a link on your email. They are the same person, but they act differently when they are working with the workstation and with the smartphone or tablet. And this is exactly why we need protection. Okay.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. Most of the companies out there are not offering their employees, even very well-known IT vendors are not offering mobile protection for their employees. All they're offering is a duo, you know, the duo with the authentication. So they say, okay, so you will authenticate via the VPN. We have authenticator, we have a FortiGate or something, you know, a firewall, and you will be okay. But what is important to understand is that this is not enough anymore, right? Because the types of threats that are out there are engineered threats, and they are made, let's say, in order to escape these kind of things. So it is not enough, you know, if you want to check Salesforce or email from your job, and you have your mobile, which you have been using for 10 years, let's say, or something, with a lot of different applications, but with no company antivirus or something, and no MDM management solution. So basically, you can do anything, yes, because you can catch all sorts of threats, and you can transfer them into the network of the company. Correct, Paolo?
Exactly, and also think about what's happening with the BYOD. BYOD exploded because of the COVID, but company nowadays, I always remind one funny story. That was a company that was an Italian company actually that is producing and selling a professional refrigerator around the world. And they have technicians moving around the world to support and repair this refrigerator. And what was funny, that you could find on Facebook the timetable of the visits of the single technician that was going around, because simply they were exchanging with the family, with the wife, with the friends, the timetable of the visit. Can you imagine? People knows exactly where this guy was going at what hour, where. So, and this is exactly what you need to avoid, because they were using, the company was sending information to their personal device, personal smartphone. With Chimpa, you can create this sandbox, and the information remains in the sandbox. So the connection with your employee is one, it's both way, but through a closed sandbox, no information in and out. And this is very important because nowadays when we think about security, I'm going to say you have to think broadly about security and focus on any possible threats, and also the disclosure of the information as is related to security.
Yes, of course. So the Italian company was exposing all the customers.
No, was exposing all the customer, all the visit of the engineer around. So somebody it was available. So you could see this guy, Paolo Rossi, at that time, should be in that address. That was the address of the customer. That was a company too. So they have to go there because they could be supermarket, they could be, this, canteen, companies or delivering food, because they were refrigerator, and all this information were available on Facebook, everyone, just simply because somebody said, oh, good idea, share the information easily through us friends,
I'll give you another example of a potential threat, because the example that Paolo gave with the Italian customer is really great for you guys to understand what are the potential threats. So has any of you heard about the Juicy hack?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll briefly explain for those of you that don't know what it is. It became very popular a few years ago, probably around the COVID, after the COVID situation. So if you look at your cable, the one that you're using to charge your phone, with the same cable, you charge your phone, but through the same cable, you can actually transmit and pass data. I mean, through the same cable, you can, I don't know, send photos, whatever you like. And the Juicy hack is something that many people get exactly at the airports, because this is where the hackers put it. because you're running, you're at the airport, you've been using your phone to listen to music, talk to friends, etc. And then you run out of battery, and then you want to charge it. And guess what's happening? You get a virus, and you don't even know about that. You have no idea that you've got a virus, because it's very difficult for a person that doesn't have any protection on the phone to understand that there is something scanning on the background and accessing your data. And what is the problem here? The problem is, and I'll give a personal example. With my previous experiences, I was not having a company-owned telephone. I was using my personal one. But I'm constantly traveling as well. So I'm constantly on the airport, charging my phone, accessing unknown Wi-Fi networks, and so on. But at the same time, I'm working from that phone. I have Salesforce, have Outlook, Teams, all kinds of applications that have company data and that have clients' data. So it's very, very, very dangerous, because if I get a hack or a virus, whatever, on the phone, apart from the banking details that I have, photos, personal information that I would lose or that it would leak to somebody else, the hacker would also have access to the company data. And we're talking about companies that treat their clients, partners, and so on. So this is very, very dangerous, especially in a bring your own device environment. And it's even more important for companies that don't provide company phones to their employees, to at least have some sort of a protection, because all of us use our phones for working purposes. All of us. At least in my environment, I haven't seen a person that is not using their phone to work. So this is what can happen if the device is not being protected.
Have you heard of cases where you might have a virus already installed in your phone from an application that one of your children, my children, for example, they take the phone all the time. They download from Google Play a lot of games. Do you have cases where one of these viruses might be already installed on your phone and you don't know about it? How can Chimpa and ERMETIX help in this case?
But I mean, first of all, okay, just consider the way it works, Chimpa. Once you install Chimpa, the first things that Chimpa does is a complete check of the phone. So once it's checked from that moment, anything that change within the device is going to be checked. So this is the way, because and once a day is going to renew the total check. But basically anything that will be from that moment, anything that will be changed is going to be checked. So if you are downloading an app, immediately Chimpa is checking the app. Think about that. There is a difference between the fully managed and the BYOD, because if your children is downloading an app on your BYOD device, is going to download the app in your personal area. So in the personal area, anything can happen. So even total destroy of your phone, hacked or whatever, but they are your personal data. Chimpa is only protecting the company data. When it's fully managed, okay. First of all, it's probably depends on how you set the device, because if you set a fully managed device not available for personal use, you cannot even download the app. Your children cannot download the app. If you set up Chimpa and you give, let's say, a certain degree of freedom, so they can use also personally, then Chimpa is monitoring anything that's happened. So even the download of this app will be checked. But I tell you, we are checking connection. And most probably, if it's a malicious connection, will be stopped anyhow by Chimpa, because Chimpa is looking outside on a web, and we get access to different knowledge base, and within this knowledge base we are getting information, and presumably information of a lot of malicious website files and so on. Just to give a bit more in-depth information about the antivirus and anti-malware, we have our own engine. The AV it's being developed inside, but the knowledge base we buy from a third-party company, McAfee, Avira, these kind. So because they have the knowledge, they have big database, and we leverage on them. We pay that service. So the engine is our, but the knowledge base is taken from outside.
So you mean the set of signatures, all the IP signatures and everything?
They are providing more than
files.
They are providing more than the simple signature. They are providing also website URL, even indicator of compromise. You know, there are so many kind of information that we are leveraging on. Our threat intelligence is working on correlation, then on indicator on compromise based on correlation. That meaning that we follow an indicator on compromise could be a route of action that happened once after the other. If you take the single action, doesn't mean anything. They could be normal copy file. But if you have to, if you see the root of information, the thread of the information, copy, encrypt, connect, that can be typical malicious. So there are so many information that you have to look when you have when you have a security solution in place.
What if there is no signature and this is a zero-day threat, let's say? What's happening in this case?
At 0 day is basically stopped by the indicator of compromise, because you don't recognize the file, but you recognize the behavior. So typically, and the example I just done is a typical behavior. So any file that want to exfiltrate data, any malware that want to exfiltrate data, first of all, they need to make a copy. Otherwise, if they access directly and try to connect the original file, will be sacked immediately. So you need to copy. Then you don't need to be burdensome and take too much, you are recognized the issue request to a lot of energy from the system. So you need to encrypt to reduce the space and the volume of the file. Then you start the connection. So all these three actions, when they occur one after the other, can be, but then that's why Chimpa is sending in an advice. So I have blocked these devices because something has happened. Just check on this, because presumably it could be a 0 day.
Yes. I don't know, is there anybody else that has any questions on this, or would you like, let's say, to call you so that we can schedule up a more technical discussion on this? I know I will call Zepos, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Matteo, Yannis?
Yannis here. I have a question. What is the nearest competition to Chimpa? I understand there is some uniqueness, but there is always what you consider competitor technologies.
Paolo, please unmute yourself. And then
I have to say all and no one, because the problem is that if you look from the UEM, you have many. If you look only the MTD, we have many. I want to change your question in that way. Typically, when we present Chimpa, people think about MDM solution. So we always try to focus also on the MTD part of it. because it's quite normal. When you present Chimpa, they are starting to, telling you, oh, I have Ivanti, manage engine. Oh, so they are repeating you name and brand of MDM. And then you have to say, hey, we are also MTD. That we never happened to us that we are compared with Trellix, AZ, whatever, because they are MTD. We are always compared with MDM, because I don't know, it's in the mind of the people. When they think about mobile, they think about MDM. So difficult to say.
So you are unique in the sense
Okay,
that you're
thanks.
both. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
both. So you're
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah. This we know, and we understand. Sometimes we are approaching company that they already have an MTD, and they want to have an MDM, and we have to tell them, listen, maybe you don't need anymore the MTD, because we are doing both.
It's a bit of, if I can do such an example, it's going to be a very banal example, but you can't really compare pears to apples, right? Because when you start presenting the solution and somebody says, oh, I already have an apple, and we say, well, we're not an apple, we're a fruit salad, because we offer a lot of fruits in it. You can find the apples, you can find the pears, and at the end of the day, it's a fruit salad because it's covering more needs. And you cannot compare it to single fruits, because the single fruits just don't. If you remember at the very beginning of my presentation, I have showed two boxes to how the market looks as of today. You have the MDM or UEM. These are one category of vendors that offer such solutions for many time. And then you have the second box, which is the MTD, which is another set of vendors, different products. So you can't really compare it. But what we hear very often is exactly what Paolo said. Oh, I already have Ivanti, or that's the first name that comes to my mind. Okay, and Ivanti is providing you that set of services. But still, you don't have the constant scan of the antiviruses. You don't have the active protection. You don't have the firewall. If you get an unknown threat, the MDM that you already have is not going to recognize it, and you would still be having your data leaked. Did we manage to answer to your question, Yanis?
Γιάννη, μας ακούς? Μπορεί να... I think yes. Okay. So what I would propose, because we had a really nice discussion after the presentation, is to send to everybody the presentation.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Yanni.
I think Martina.
Okay. To send to everybody the presentation, to send the materials, also the links so that they can study more. And I will contact Zeppo for having a follow-up meeting. Okay, Zeppo?
Yes, no problem.
Yes.
When you finish, I have a silly small questions for you guys,
Okay.
because it has nothing to do with technical stuff. I'm a bit confused, and please clarify about the naming of the companies, because I'm a bit confused. I see ERMETIX, but I see Chimpa, and I see another company which created, I believe, Chimpa, Xnoova or something like that. What's the story here? Are they two products in one? Are they three different companies? What's happening here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I actually I'm going to go back to my first slide.
Yep, correct.
It's okay. I usually dedicate more time to that, exactly because of that confusion. First of all, the website is being redone at the moment. It's being updated. I hope it's going to be available soon so that we avoid such confusion. So a little bit more about the story of the company. This is the name of the company. So if you see Xnoova, that's the name of the company. And then
Italian one, right?
An Italian one, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, okay.
And then what happened 5-6 years ago is that the company Xnoova created this product called Chimpa. And Chimpa started as a simple MDM solution. So the engine was an MDM one, and it was dedicated for the schools and the universities in Italy. So a lot of schools and universities in Italy have Chimpa to manage their devices, like blackboards, interactive flat panels, tablets, cell phones, all kinds of devices. Usually it originated as iOS one, then it expanded to Android and so on. And for several years, it was running as an MDM solution for the schools and universities. Then a few years ago, the current owner came, which is whose name is Diego Fasano. Diego used to work for the Italian government for many years, and he used to work for the offensive side. He was, let's say, on the side where he knew how to, what a hack means and what hackers are doing to hack phones and get to your data. So he came a few years ago, and together with his team, that is a very, very experienced team of engineers, always in the mobile development area, they developed what we now know as ERMETIX powered by Chimpa. So this is the very enterprise type of solution. And as of today, a part of the many universities and schools that have been using the solution for years, we already have very, very big customers like hospitals, banks, also in Switzerland, customers in the manufacturing area, transportation companies, and so on. And but many people still know us as Chimpa. As I said, we are still revamping the website to avoid this confusion. But if we have to put it like this way, Chimpa was the MDM solution back in the days. ERMETIX powered by Chimpa, because it still has the Chimpa engine below, is what we know and consider as of today the enterprise level of solution. Does that make sense?
Yep. What I got from you, and that was very straightforward. Thank you very much. I kind of cleared my mind. What I get from that is that actually in the beginning with Chimpa was right now you have the core of your MDM actually continues to be Chimpa based, and the MTD part is ERMETIX.
Exactly. But as a whole, as a product, we call it ERMETIX, powered by Chimpa, just to distinguish the two types of products. But you've got it exactly. Still the core.
Okay. Now it's clear. Now it's clear. Thank you very much, Marina. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we have concluded now. Thank you all for coming. It was very interesting. Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Martina. And thank you, everybody, for attending this seminar. And we look forward to welcoming you in our next seminar. Okay, we will be in contact with all of you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.